20 judges,
2 days,
13 categories,
39 cars.
and 15 various tests.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2025 Cars.co.za Awards. Hello and welcome back to the Cars.co.za YouTube channel. My name's Ciro De Siena and you join me at the amazing Gerotek facility where we have just concluded a massive judging process for our 2025 Cars.co.za Awards sponsored by ABSA. Now in this video, I'm not going to announce a winner. That will happen at the end of February at our gala event, so stay tuned for that. But what I'm going to do is drive these cars back to back and then tell you my personal opinion on which one I would pick out of these 3 cars. Now, to help me introduce you to our vehicles, there's a lot of specs and numbers to remember. So I use the fantastic Cars.co.za app. Get it from your app store immediately. You can search all 75,000 cars on our site and do all your buying research there as well. So go get the app. I like it a lot. Right, let's start with the cars. This is a Mercedes Benz. It's the GLE 300D 4MATIC. Comes in at 1.983 million rand, which makes it the most expensive of the cars here. Merc sells it with a 2-year unlimited kilometer warranty and a 5-year 100,000 kilometer maintenance plan. Moving over to Japan, we have the Lexus RX450h Plus F Sport. Coming in at a bargain, 1.64 million rand. You get a 7-year vehicle warranty, 105,000 kilometers, an 8-year 195,000 kilometer on the battery, because this is of course a hybrid. And lastly, the third finalist in our premium SUV category this year is the BMW X5 xDrive 30D M Sport. It comes in at 1.8 million rand list price, 2-year unlimited kilometer warranty, 5-year 100,000 kilometer maintenance plan. Now, the Germans have a bit of a weird thing with warranties. Don't worry that the warranty is so short. They look after you for 5 years, basically. Okay, let's get these cars out onto the Gerotek testing facilities, drive them back to back. I'll show you the interiors, I'll show you the back seats, I'll show you the boot, and at the end of this video, I will give you my humble opinion on which one I like the most. Time to drive.
Think of a car, any car. Yes, Cars.co.za. Let's find what moves you.
Right, welcome to the part of the video where I drive all the cars. Let's start with the Mercedes Benz. Now, it's quite an interesting car. It only has a 2-liter turbo diesel. However, it has a 48-volt mild hybrid system. That means it has a small battery and it has an electric motor in the transmission. And what that does is help the car accelerate, because that's when cars use the most fuel. So it just gives you that extra bit of torque when you need it, but it also does help the car coast on the highway. And all of this is to bring the fuel consumption down. So we're on the dynamic handling track. Let's just push the car a little bit, see how it corners. Sheesh. That is not bad for a 2-liter. Yeah, no, that's plenty power and torque there. You'll have no problem overtaking on the highway. This car has the slowest 0 to 100 claim time of the other cars, but not much, 6.9 seconds. But that's quick. It's a big car, this. I mean, that's like almost GTI quick. No tire squeal, lots of traction. This car should be great in the wet as well with its 4-wheel drive. Loads of traction. Even though the suspension is set up to be comfortable, it somehow manages to really behave itself in the corners as well. Cool, good job, Merc. You got the dynamics right. Right, let's talk about the driving experience of the Merc. It's a 2 million rand car before options, so you'd expect it to be pretty good, and it is. It's very quiet, very smooth, And the car is riding on 21-inch wheels, but you only get 19 inches as standard, so you have to pay for the extra 21s. You can get 22s, but I recommend the 21s because you still get quite a nice high sidewall, which adds to the comfort of the car. It'll deal with potholes better as well. You've got less chance of damaging the tire. And overall, it just provides a smoother ride. Now, in terms of the road noise and the wind noise coming into the cabin, very little. It's very serene in here, very calm, very quiet. Alrighty, and then the final test of the day, we're going to this brilliant suspension testing area of Gerotek, and it gives you an excellent opportunity to test how the car deals with terrible road surfaces. So the car does have adaptive dampers, so we'll leave it in comfort. We don't have air suspension in here. Okay, here we go. First, we're going to hit the Belgian paving, which is cobblestones. So if you happen to have Belgian paving in your suburb, you'll know how well the Merc handles it. Let's go 30 k's an hour. A little bit stiffer than I expected. Sounds a little rattly as well. Maybe it's our gear, but something in here is making a noise. Wasn't actually very good. Luckily, there's not much Belgian paving in South Africa. Right, onto an undulating surface, sort of represents, sort of simulates potholes and that sort of thing. Yeah, this is better. Oh, it's very exciting. Okay, I feel like I'm being jumped around quite a bit, but it is nice and smooth. Oh, wow. Okay, God, I had to really brace my core there. And then onto the ribbed concrete. Yeah, it's doing pretty well here. Yeah, dealt well with that. That is a particularly harsh surface. So, yeah, good, decent marks for the Merc. Not great on the cobblestone, but pretty good everywhere else. And once I've driven all three on the same surface, then I'll give them a rating as well. Now let's talk about the interior from the point of view of the driver. Now, lately Merc interiors, especially in their cheaper models, have left a lot to be desired. They feel cheap, they're creaky, but in here it seems like they sort of returned to the Merc of old, and everything's well put together. You've got nice, expensive feeling materials. Overall, though, I'm not sure it feels special enough to justify 2 million rand, but it's okay. It gets a pass. Now, something that annoys me on Mercs is the haptic touch control on the steering wheel, because if you just accidentally brush it or touch it, then you change something on your infotainment or on your dials, and I don't like that. And Volkswagen for a while did the same thing. Everyone complained, and Volkswagen have gone back to buttons. So please, Merc, go back to buttons on the steering wheel. And general seat comfort is good. I'm really comfortable in here, I really am. I could do long distances, sit in traffic, that sort of thing. Very, very comfy seats. Now, to give you some context around these videos we've made, we've shot 13 videos in 2 days on 39 cars using 4 presenters and 4 film crews. So we haven't been able to go as in-depth as we'd like into the car. And basically, the point of these videos is to drive the cars back to back and give you our journalistic opinion on the vehicles. So we will do more thorough tests, and there are already some really detailed reviews of all these cars on our channel, so go look for them if you are searching for a particular car. Okay, overall impressions of the Merc. It is the most expensive car here, but it feels like the largest car here. It feels like a luxury car. I feel like the dash could have been a bit more exciting, a little bit more design going into it. But overall, I am impressed. I think if you're looking for a big luxury, all-wheel drive, premium SUV, the Merc is a good option. But let's go jump into the Lexus and then the BMW, and then I'll give you my conclusion at the end. I do like a hybrid. You pull away in complete silence. It's so great in the city. If you're in stop-start traffic, you just crawl forward. And this is a traditional hybrid. It's a closed system hybrid, so you can't plug it in. It's basically like the Prius. So Toyota has been doing this for 30 years. I think hybrid technology has been around. So of course, the benefit of a hybrid system is that you get better fuel economy. And this car is averaging 7 liters to the 100. And that is after 2 intensive days of testing. Now, hybrids aren't great on the open road. They struggle a little bit. The Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid is actually really not so great on the open road. However, because this car has a larger displacement petrol engine, I think it has enough power and torque to satisfy most people. But let me quickly refer to the notes I made earlier in my Cars.co.za notebook using my Cars.co.za pen. So power in here, 227 kilowatts, not bad. It's actually more than the other two, but those are diesels, so they have a bit less power. But only 400 newtons, which is quite a lot less than the other cars. I mean, the Beamer's got 670. But I don't think you'll want for power in this car. The thing about a Lexus is you don't buy a Lexus to drive like a Muppet. You drive a Lexus to cruise, quiet, comfort. Overall ride quality, yeah, I'm pretty impressed. It handles road imperfections pretty well. This is quite a good surface, and it's very quiet. I would say it does match the Merc in terms of its ride quality and its noise, vibration, and harshness. But I think it's because that engine's a bit grumbly or a bit strainy, it doesn't feel as sort of luxurious as the Merc does. I mean, we're on the dynamic handling track now. It almost feels pointless in the Lexus. Okay, let's push it through some corners. Oh no, it doesn't like that very much. Yeah, not nearly as dynamic as the Merc. I feel like I'm cornering on my door handles. Oh, that's not great. So this car has a CVT gearbox, continuously variable transmission, which means it doesn't actually have any gears. Now, CVTs are used because they're efficient, but they're probably my least favorite gearbox. So listen what happens when I put foot. You're sort of expecting it to change gear, and then it just does it. However, you're probably only going to use full throttle in overtaking situations. So most of the time you're going to be doing what I'm doing now, cruising around, and then the drivetrain will switch between electric and petrol, and you just get this really serene experience. Right, we're back at the suspension test. We're going to do the exact same test as we did in the Mercedes Benz. So let's go. 30 km an hour onto the Belgian pavé. Yeah, that's much better than the Merc. The suspension is obviously a lot softer. You're onto the sort of undulating potholes. Jeez, that's good. Very comfortable. Yeah, the Lexus is definitely built for comfort rather than handling. That's good. All right, onto the ribbed concrete. 30 km an hour. Oh, that's very good. Yeah, handled that very well. Yep, if you're looking for the most comfortable car on terrible roads, it's the Lexus. Now onto the interior, the dashboard, the look and feel of what you're interacting with as the driver. And I do feel like the interior here feels and looks a bit more premium than the Mercedes does. You've got this lovely suede on the doors here. You get a big sound system, a standard. There's real leather. This is the only car of the three with real leather. What is going on? Now, at some point in the last few years, Lexus decided that they wanted to have the largest screens of any manufacturer. So the infotainment screen is huge. But what that allows them to do is leave the climate controls on the infotainment screen all the time, which I really like. So if you're not going to give me buttons for the climate control, at least leave it on the screen for me. And this might sound trivial, but the steering wheel is too thin. It's too thin rimmed. The rim is too thin, is what I'm trying to say. I don't know, if it just needs to feel a bit chunkier. I think it would feel a bit more expensive. Merc feels big and solid, whereas this feels a little bit more like it's a car from the segment below. And it is the smallest car here, just doesn't have that sort of like granite feeling that you get from the Mercedes Benz. I don't mind it, it's fine. It's doing enough for me to justify its price tag. Let me sum up the Lexus for you. The driving experience in here, because of the hybrid system, is so unique, and Gerotek is so good at this. They really are. I mean, when the petrol engine comes in, it is absolutely indiscernible. You just don't, you can hear it a little bit, but you can't feel it. It just comes on, it just comes back from electric to petrol. It is a really, really lovely experience to have a hybrid. I like them a lot. And of course, huge fuel savings as well. So this is, for me, the best value car here, most for your money. But I don't know if it's as desirable as the other two in terms of, you know, when you're on the road and people are looking at you, and that's one of the reasons why you buy these expensive big cars. It's a bit of a vanity purchase. So I think Lexus have dialed down the presence of the car, and I think that lack of presence sort of lets down the rest of the package a little bit. But let's do the final car now, into the X5, and then I can give them all a rating and give you a conclusion, pick my winner. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I've always quite liked the X5 because it was one of the first cars I ever drove. My uncle had a Gen 1 4.4 litre V8, and he gave it to me one night to do a trip, and I just thought it was in the early days of sports SUVs. I think the X5 was the first sports SUV, and it sort of invented the segment. So here we are in the 4th generation now, and I've always quite liked these cars. BMW, obviously known for their sportiness, and this is their M Sport. That's kind of the, you know, that's their sort of brand identity, is sportiness. So this car, definitely, I'm expecting it on the dynamic handling track to be the best car there. But even in comfort mode, you can feel the suspension is firmer than in the other cars. So keep that in mind if you're trying to choose between these three cars. It's like the opposite of the Lexus in here. So definitely not the most comfortable car here. But because you like BMW and you're looking at an X5, you are looking for something a bit sportier. So let's put it into sport mode. Well, it's definitely quicker. Sheesh. So BMW smashes the other cars in terms of torque, 670 Newton meters. And even though it's a turbo diesel, the gearbox is doing a good job of managing the revs so that I've always got boost. For a brand that invented sporty SUVs, they've definitely continued the theme. What I'm really impressed by though is how the ECU and the gearbox manage the boost. It feels like you've always got that torque available, like there's no turbo lag, which is what big turbo diesels are known for. That's really smart. They've done a really great job with that. But for me, the best combination of handling and comfort is the Merc by far. Okay, on the dynamic handling course, it impressed. But now, the suspension test. I'm saying that now to build suspense. See what I did there? Sorry. Right, we are approaching the suspension test. So we need to do a couple of things here, make a couple of adjustments. We have to go into comfort mode to give this car the best chance to impress me. And I have to wear my special suspension testing hat, which says Cars.co.za on it. We'll start off with the Belgian pavé. No, how is it that good? Oh my word, it's the best car of the three over that cobblestones. Okay, let's go. The undulating. Surely this is going to be terrible. 30 k's an hour. What? It's so good. Okay, ribbed concrete. 30 k's an hour. No. How is it so good over the ribbed concrete? It's got the firmest suspension. Just shows you how well those adaptive dampers work. Wow. No way. How did they? That's magic. Okay, you know what? I need, just wait. I need to just check something. Hang on a second. Everyone just wait for me. I'm coming back now, I promise. How do you put this thing into park? There, P button. I need to check something. I need to check the tire size. What is it riding on? Where's the tire size? Can't see it. 275 40 21s. So it's got the same size wheel as the Merc, but it doesn't, I'm so confused because it doesn't feel as comfortable on the road, but then it handles this horrible stuff so well. My brain is fried. Okay, let's go. It's nearly lunch. Let me tell you about the interior from where I'm sitting. So obviously you can get different interior trim and different colors and that sort of thing. But this particular spec for me, it's a bit flashy. It's a bit gaudy almost. That's a good British word that. Just feels like it's trying a little bit too hard. It's a bit chintzy almost. I mean, it's all good quality and it's all well built, but it's just like a bit too shiny for my taste. I don't know, maybe you'll love it, but I'd probably go for maybe a wood finish or something like that, just to dial down the shininess. Now, in terms of the infotainment system, BMW have been advancing it really quickly, and this is the new OS. And I don't have a lot of time to familiarize myself with these cars, but I just find the system to be too much, and I'm sure you'll get used to it. But for instance, I've been wanting to tell you about my fuel consumption, and it took me forever to find the fuel consumption, which I think it's just not very user-friendly. And obviously if you live with a car, you will get used to it. For me, they get the steering wheel right, so when you go for the M Sport package, you get this M steering wheel. I really like it. It's the right thickness. It has the correct girth, in my opinion. It's also just the nicest steering wheel of the lot. It feels good, feels sporty. In terms of cabin comfort though, this feels like the biggest car. It feels like I've got the most space in here. But what's quite nice and what BMW does so well is they also make it feel like you're secure. So you're not like flying around the cabin. It's definitely got the sportiest seats. The Merc seats are definitely the comfiest here, probably followed by the Lexus and then followed by this car. So I think if you're looking for ultimate comfort, you're not going to get it in the Beamer. But to summarize, it's pretty simple. This is the sportiest car here. So if you want a sports SUV, yeah, don't waste your time, get the Beamer. Right, the boots. Very important when it comes to these sorts of cars. We're going to do a pram test. Also, please follow our new Only Prams account. We're running a 50% discount at the moment, and we'll put a link in the description below. Wow, that was a lot easier than I expected. Okay, and we'll start with the Mercedes Benz. So, of the three boots here, I would say the Mercedes Benz is the second biggest. And it should swallow a pram, no problem. Yeah, no, I mean, you could get plenty prams in here. You've got some nets so you can hold your Cars.co.za giant sippy cup as well. You've got a 12-volt socket, and you don't have remote seat release. So you have to lean over to release the seats, which is a little bit of a faff. They fold down 40, 20, 40, and then you've got a full-size biscuit spare under there. So a little bit barren in the back of the Merc, but electric tailgate, very nice. Oh wait, hang on a second, tow hitch. Something's happening. Oh, hello. It appears. Tow hitch makes a lot of noise. Alrighty, onto the Lexus. Yep, smallest boot here, and that's probably because of the hybrid system. The battery will be underneath there somewhere, so it's quite shallow. It's about the same width as the Mercedes Benz, but it is definitely smaller. Let's do the pram test next to our Cars.co.za cushion. Ah, yeah, no, passes that with ease. Very wide boot this actually. Now, the Lexus doesn't have a spare. You get a tire repair kit. So what I recommend is if you get a puncture, just phone Lexus roadside assistance and wait. Don't bother with the tire repair thing. These seats though, very fancy in the Lexus. So you get two buttons over here and the rear seats fold down electrically. Now that's very cool. They raise up as well. I mean, how much better is that than what you have to do in the Merc? Brilliant. Well done, Lexus. And then onto the BMW, which is a split rear tailgate. This bit is electric and it reveals a Cars.co.za peak cap. This is the largest boot here, definitely. Absolutely going to swallow the pram. Yeah, no, that's all the way in, no problem at all. You get a good size spare, which is good. You don't get remote seat release. So the thing is, I mean, look at this. I can't reach the seat release. So you have to go around the side of the car to put the seats down. Even if I put the tailgate up, I bet you I still can't reach it. No, I can just reach 12-volt socket and a tow bar. Not a whirring. There it is. I wonder if these electric tow bars are as strong as if it was just mounted. That'd be quite an interesting test. Anyway, there we go. Your boots. Let me rate them. BMW first, Mercedes second, Lexus third in terms of space, but in terms of usability, the Lexus just smashes it out of the park. Welcome to the rear seats of the Merc GLE. Now what I'm going to do is test all three cars' back seats, and then at the end I'll give them a rating for comfort and tech. So what have we got back here? Two USB Type-C ports, air vents, netting for your things. You've got an armrest with drinks holders. You've got a proper third safety belt and a huge panoramic roof, which makes it feel very light and airy and spacious in here. And then lastly, look how much legroom I have. This car is massive. I feel like I'm in a freaking limousine. Seat comfort, yeah, good. Seat comfort's pretty good. Let's see how it compares to the other two. Welcome to the back of the Lexus, and my word is there a lot going on here. It makes the Merc look very barren indeed. You've got heated seats, cool seats, your own climate control, USB Type-C ports. You've got seat control for this passenger seat so you can get it out of your way and move it forward, give yourself more leg room and annoy whoever is sitting in the passenger seat. You've got a blind, very nice, center armrest with lovely drinks holders. Watch this. Oh, I do like a soft opening drinks holder. Seat comfort, general seat comfort, excellent. Beautifully spec'd, lots going on here, excellent seat comfort. The Lexus is in first place right now, but let's get into the BMW and see what it offers. And finally, the rear seats of the BMW. You have your own aircon control, automatic. You can even change the flow of the air. Air vents over here and air vents over there, which is quite nice. Two USB Type-Cs down there and a 12-volt. And then another USB Type-C in the back of the seat with a TV mount, which you can order as an optional extra. You get a blind, like you do in the Lexus. You get, look at this. The Lexus is just so slick here. You have to open it yourself. I mean, what were they thinking, you know? Manual labor. And you do get a storage bin as well. Proper third passenger seat. Big pano roof. The leather looks good. It's beautiful quilted leather. It is perforated, which makes me think that as an optional extra, you could order heated and cooled seats in here. But what's nice is in the Lexus, you get it as standard. Seat comfort, probably the least comfortable of the lot. So what are my ratings? 10 out of 10 for the Lexus, 8 out of 10 for the BMW, 7.5 out of 10 for the Merc. That was a really fun video to make. I've really enjoyed driving these cars. They're all very, very good cars, but let me summarize them for you. I think the Merc looks the best. To my taste, I really like the design of the Merc, but this car feels like the least value for your money. It's 1.9 million before options. It's the most expensive car here, and it feels like you get the least stuff, which is a bit of a pity, unfortunately. The Lexus, I feel, has the least presence of these three cars. I think they've gone a bit too subtle, a bit too small with the car as well. You can actually see physically how much lower it is than the other two. And that sort of makes it less desirable, but it's an excellent experience. It's the only full hybrid here. It'll save you a lot of money on fuel, and you do get extra tech in there and extra comfort features, way more than the other two cars can offer. The BMW, I do like X5s. I really do. It's the best to drive. It is the best car here. It's just the best all-rounder. It really is. But this video is about my personal opinion. In February, we'll announce the winner of this category. We'll see what the judges think. We'll see what the South African public thinks in our consumer survey. But if I had to take one car home of the three, I'm taking the Merc. Sorry if this whole video has been very confusing. I'm very confused. I don't know why. I enjoyed it the most. It's as simple as that. Right, thanks very much for watching. Follow the Cars Awards on all of our socials and our YouTube. The 2025 Cars Awards, the testing has now concluded. We're in November 2024 right now. We'll take all the scoring, we'll put it all together, and in end of February, we're going to announce the winners. Thanks very much for watching. I'm Ciro De Siena. We'd love it if you liked and subscribed. And I'm off to lunch. Bye-bye.
What's the car with Cars.co.za? Meet on the move Roxy. Her perfect car has a cup holder that fits her oversized color-coded sippy cup. Now think of a car, any car. Yes, we have it. Cars.co.za. Let's find what moves you.